Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? Boy, have I got an exciting one for you now. I know that a lot of you watch these acrylic pour videos. There's, I don't know, dozens of people on the internet doing these acrylic pours. There's all kinds of acrylic pours, and there's all kinds of stuff they add to them. They use Floetrol. They use all kinds of different additives. They use PVC glue. They use water. They put all kinds of stuff in with the paint and mix it all up to do an acrylic pour. And it gets rather daunting because what one person uses, another person says, oh, don't use that. Use this over here and use this because of this and use that because of that. And it gets very confusing. And I've done some acrylic pours and I've tried adding the silicone. I've tried adding the different paint thinner additives and water and glue and, all kinds of things. And yes, you get different results by using different mediums. However, why are you taking something that's so doggone simple and making something so complicated out of it? It doesn't need to be that complicated. You can produce really pretty things really quickly and not use all the additives and stuff to it. And I'm going to prove it to you right here. What I have is a 2-inch by 2-inch canvas, and I got two of them sitting here. We're going to do two different things, but they're both going to turn out awesome. Now, there is your canvas. And what I'm going to use here is, this is Liquitex modeling paste. Okay, this is going to add some texture to this little canvas. And we'll try to keep it here under the camera. And what I did is I put about 2 tablespoons of it in a little Ziploc bag. It was a tall one. I cut the top off of it. I made kind of like a little pastry bag out of this. And we're going to squeeze this out onto the canvas and just make a little design on it here. Nothing, spectacular, nothing that anybody can't do. I'm just going to cut the tip off of it like you would a pastry bag. See how that just kind of pipes out? And we're just going to pipe it around on the canvas and just make little designs with it, just any old way, one end to the other, and make some little swirls and stuff with it. We can get it to squeeze out good. I may have made that hole a little bit larger than what I maybe should have, but hey, it's all going to work out. And you just twist it around there on the canvas, push it all out of the bag. You don't have to use it all if you don't want to, or you could use it on several different canvases if you wanted to, make it as thick or as thin or whatever you want to do. Now I'm going to grab my little palette knife a little bit and maybe just push it around some just to keep it from being too clumped up in one spot, and just move it around a little bit. Maybe out that way. Maybe this needs to come up some here. But this is just regular old modeling paste. This ain't anything special. You could really even do the same thing with hot glue. If you don't have modeling paste and you got a hot glue gun sitting there, heat up the glue and just put you down a little bit of texture here on your canvas. Now, we're going to hit this with a heat gun to dry it. Let's get the heat gun revved up here. All right. It don't take very long to dry this stuff. We put the heat to it. A little air and a little heat. Start setting that up. And this is what we're going to pour on top of. When you see how simple this is, you're going to be kicking yourself if you've been doing acrylic pours, adding all that stuff and putting everything in the world to it. Now, if you want cells, I'll change this up a little bit. If you want cells and all that, yeah, you have to add some silicone to your paint, do a little bit of mixing, but we're not interested in the cells here. What we're interested in is just getting something interesting and pretty on the canvas. And you look at that, somebody might just look at that and say, well, Lord, that's a mess. But what that is texture. One man's trash is another man's treasure. It's still a little soft, so we're going to just blow at it a little bit more here, dry it out some. Now, these weren't prepped in any way, shape, or form. I just took them out of the little plastic package when I pulled the canvas out. I'll even lift it up here so the air can move through real good. It's drying. Okay, I'm going to let that cool down before I put the paint to it. That's why I've got the second canvas out here. So we're going to sit this one aside, this one that I've just put that modeling compound to. I'm going to let it cool off from hitting it with the heat gun, and we're going to work on this other one here. Now, this one, I'm not going to put anything on it. This is just a plain little canvas. I just took it out of the plastic was all. All right? There's no gesso on it. There's no paint on it. This is just the canvas on the little wooden frame. Simple. You can't make it no simpler than that. And I've got some apple barrel paint. This is the paint that you get at Walmart, the Walmart brand apple barrel acrylic paint. And it still even has the plastic on the lid. So let me get the plastic cut off of it here so we can get her opened up. There we go. Got the plastic off. Now I'm going to shake it up some. Brand new bottle of paint. Just show you that, you know, nothing up my sleeve. And we're going to take this paint. I'm just going to put a glob of it down there on the canvas, and we're going to cover the canvas with the paint. You're saying, Lord, she's using an awful lot of paint. Well, yeah, I have. And yeah, there's going to be a little waste to this. If you're going to do a whole bunch of canvases, then, you know, you can always say this. You can take your Yupo and pick up your drippings and stuff, you know, make your jewelry and stuff out of those, or, you know, whatever you're going to do. Now, say there's a nice big pile of paint on here. There was no water added to it. There was no Floetrol added to it. There was no fancy schmancy whatever. All right. Then I'm going to take, I got a brand new bottle of white here. It has been open. I did take the plastic off of this one, but I didn't use any out of it. And I'm just going to put some white on there. Squeeze a little white out. Then we're going to use, I'll turn that around this way, make it a little easier for me to work on it. Let's see, what color would be pretty with that? I'm thinking maybe a little of this tan would look nice with that. We'll put a little tan in there. And then, this is one of them. Hey, y'all, watch this. I've got some of this metallic paint. This is Gourd Master, but I mean, any metallic paint would do. You could use anything that suits your fancy with some metallics in it, because I want to add a little bit of shine to this. You could even use a metallic nail polish if you had some. And see, I'm just putting just a little bit of that in there. We're not trying to turn the whole thing into a flash show, but this is called dark bronze, is what this color is. And then what I'm going to do with this is we're just going to start raking this out. Just rake it out across the canvas like this. Now, y'all watch this. I'm taking the handle of my micro brush, not the micro brush, the handle. And I'm going to start raking stripes out in this. Raking stripes. Let me brush a little of that to the back. Just keep brushing. And this is kind of my little center area up here. And everything down from that, I'm just pulling down across the canvas. Then I'm going to take my metallic paint again. Put another little dab up here in the top of it. Another drop. There we go. Take my brush handle again here. Just start swirling that in. Grab a little bit of it, swirl it in. Just in this top portion. You know, this up here, we'll whip that out that way, whip this out this way. Look how pretty that is. And we're just raking all the extra paint down the sides. That's what we're doing. If you don't like the direction some of it's going, you change it. You're the artist after all. You just change it up however you want it to be. Look how cool that is. I'm not sure that's really showing up as pretty as I'd like for it to, because it's a lot brighter here on my screen. We just make little loops up here on the top. You just playing in the paint, making it the design you want it to be. And that is a quick and easy pour right there. Then you can, I'm going to get up underneath it, raise it up a little bit here, get my hand under it to brace it. Paint string, we'll get rid of that. Take my brush, and I'm just going to brush the sides across, taking the extra paint off these sides. Now, isn't that cool and easy and something that you'd have a lot of fun playing with? Now, my paint shifted just a little bit there since I tilted it up trying to do the sides. So what you do, if you don't like the way that's going, you just take your stick and come back through it to put your design back in it again. Just that easy peasy. And I'm going to set this off to the side to dry. So we'll move our paint over to the side. Now, so there wasn't a whole lot that came off of there onto the paper towel that I had underneath it. I'm going to clean my brush up a little bit here. I got to get the paint off of it for my next little project, because we're going to go into that modeling paste, and I don't want that paint on that brush to get on my next project here. Let me get another piece of paper towel to put down over that paint mess, because I don't want to get all that on my next one. Here we go. Now, here's the one with the modeling paste. All right, that's dry now. Dry as a bone. Dry, dry, dry. And it's cool. So, you know, I can put paint on it and don't have to worry about it burning the paint. And I want to get another real pretty color here. I know what I want to use. Let me reach over here to the other box. I've got so much paint around here you would not believe. Paint everywhere. This one we're going to do in a yellow. Make it springy looking. It's going to look like a little spring chicken. This is the Martha Stewart Pearl paint. And this is a yellow, and I call it chick yellow. What are they calling it? Get it out there far enough that I can read it. Yeah, they call it duckling. Go figure. Okay, and hey, this is how simple this is. Look at that. We put the paint on the canvas. Just like that. Put it right down there. right in the middle of that modeling paste. I'm going to take my brush, dip into it. I'm going to come around the sides of my canvas. Get the sides all coated with my duckling yellow pearlescent paint. A lot of people steer clear of yellow, and I don't understand that. Yellow is such a bright, pretty color, and things stand out so nice with yellow on them. And you just get all that paint pushed down around, and when you have piles of paint in it, you just pull them out. Brush them around a little bit. There's still a little blue in my brush, and it's getting on my painting and muddying it up some. You see there, it's coming off of the brush. That was up in the top of the bristles. Okay. We just keep going over this. Just pull that paint all through the design that you've laid out with your modeling paste, and it gives it texture. It gives it interest. And I just keep brushing the extra paint off to the sides. I'm pulling it through the design. That's how simple this is. I just stipple it a little bit to even add a little bit more texture. That paint softened up the modeling paste just a little bit, and that I'll use to my advantage. And that's how cool this is. Now, if you want to add a little more to it, you can. Somebody might look at that and say, well, what kind of a mess is that supposed to be? Now, twist it a little bit so you can see it a little bit better with the light. But see how it's just got that design to it. What you can do now, we're going to come in with some metallic. And I'm going to go with, I think I'll go with this pretty shade of blue. They call this steel blue. And I'm going to put this, pour a little bit out here, I think. Oh, try to pour some out. Maybe there wasn't as much in that bottle as I thought there was. Well, let me stir that a little bit. See if it's set up in there. And I'm going to take micro brush. Yeah, there's plenty of paint in there, Lord. Just settled. Get that stirred up good. Okay, we'll just take the micro brush, and I'm just going to dab that. Now, this is a metallic steel blue. I'm just going to dab this on top of my modeling paste textured areas. Give it a little more interest. You don't have to use all that special stuff. Now, like I say, if you want to get the pour to flow, yeah, you're going to have to thin your paint. And if you want to get your paint to sell, you're going to need some silicone. But you can do interesting paintings, abstract paintings, without going to all that expense to buy all those extra products. You can do very interesting things. Now, see how I'm just daubing that on? Where I've got the modeling paste underneath it to add some interest and color to my design. Just going back over anything that I didn't touch the first time. Making sure that I've got it put on there good. And there you have it. I mean, there's some interesting, pretty paintings. I'll show you this other one. Whoops. Show you this other one again here. There's the one that I zoom out on it a little bit. There you go. Use the blue, the white, the tan, and then I added the bronze metallic to it. And there is the yellow and blue with the modeling paste. Quick and easy peasy. Something interesting. And I make magnets out of these. You can do a lot of different little things with them. You can use them as little tiles and, you know, line them all up and do all kinds of cool stuff with these. These are just little mini canvases, and I get them at Walmart. You know, it's not like they're difficult to find. So with that being said, I'll tell you, check out my Etsy store. The URL for that is in the description of the video. I also do videos over on Twitch, and you can check me out over on Twitch. I do some different things there than what I do over here most of the time. And let's see, I have a Patreon channel that the description or the URL for that is in the description of the video for you. And that is for people that want to subscribe to my Patreon channel and get special craft lessons where I'll be doing some big projects. And I've got one lesson up there already, and that is how to carve fishing lures. So if you're interested in that, you can check that one out. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm easy to find, and the URLs for all that are in the description of the video. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to say, and that is Brenda's Crafty. Be like Brenda.